What's up, guys? It's me, Jesse, and we're back with some Civilization 5 content this time. I thought since last time I judged all the Civ 6 leaders by their appearance, I would go back and judge all the Civ 5 leaders by appearance. Before we start the ranking here, I just want to thank my boy, My Name is Chef, who set up this tier list and was nice enough to, I believe, put all these guys in alphabetical order. So that's really nice of him. Makes it a little easier to deal with. Don't have to really look for anyone. So without further ado, let's get the show on the road. First off, we're going to have my boy, Ahmad Al-Mansur from Morocco. And this time, the one thing I'll say about the Civ 5 that I think I'm going to do a little differently, since the Civ 5 developers, or at least the designers, were nice enough to give everyone their own unique background, I can actually take some background into account here too, because when you see their background, you really get a sense of their aesthetic, the kind of environment that they like to thrive in. So Ahmad Al-Mansur of Morocco, he likes to live in his singular big tent. It seems pretty simple. He's got a nice little lake in the oasis for some drinking water. Don't know where his kitchen is in that tent, but I'm sure he gets around. He's got some cool camels in the back. And now when we look at the man himself, we're gonna see, and this is a running theme I think throughout a lot of the Civ 5 leaders. Unfortunately, compared to Civ 6, they're not really as full of expression. They look like more regular guys, I guess. But we can still judge their appearance, I think, quite a bit. So this guy, he's got some cool robes. You'll see that a lot of these also look a little more like real, like a little less cartoonish, especially in the faces, but like less cartoonish than the Civ 6 guys. So these robes, he's a slim guy. He's got like a girdle, I guess, because he doesn't want to show his belly fat off. He's got a cool undershirt, I guess, like a cool red long sleeve under his robe. He's okay. It's kind of like some standard, desert fare. Just trying to protect himself from the sands. He's got a headdress here. I don't know if I really like the head covering. I think I'd like to see his hair. I'd like to see maybe like a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air cut. Like he's got a flat top. I really want to see a flat top on this guy. He looks decent though. I like this part. I like the center of his robe here. This I think is pretty cool looking. So aesthetically, I think I can put this guy in C tier. I don't think it's amazing, but it's not like bad. It doesn't speak to me, but it's not bad. Next up, we can go to Alexander the Great. And this guy, first of all, this guy's a jackass. If anyone played Civ 5, you know this guy's a jackass. He just insults you every chance he gets. But he's got a cool horse. He's riding on the mountains. He's a bit of a rugged man. He has cool armor. I like his cool armor. It's a little dusty. He's got some gold bracelets. He's got some gold leggings. Got a big lion here. You big, strong lion man. He's riding a horse. Got a black horse. The horse is cool. He's in the mountains. He looks a little adventurous. And he's cocky. He's cocky. Look at that face. He's looking down on you. A lot of the leaders tend to look down on you, which I think is weird because, unless you're playing on deity, you're probably going to be beating these guys off the bat anyway. But he actually looks really cool. I like his design a lot. It looks like good armor. He actually does look like a pretty dashing gladiator. Look at his jacked arms. These are defined. He's not like big, but he's defined. So I'm actually going to put him in A tier, Alexander of Macedon. Actually, I think it's just Greece in Civ 5. Next, we have my boy Ashurbanipal of Assyria. Apparently this guy's a really, really good Civ, but I don't think I've ever played as him. Now first of all, we can get this guy's ostentatious. Look at his golden palace. This guy is rich beyond belief. He made sure that his workers put a lot of effort into this palace. You get some cool symbols here. You can some oxen on the sides. I like that. I like his taste. You really feel like you're in the palace of an emperor right here. He's got a book. He doesn't need a sword. He's got a big... Oh, wait, this is a stone tablet. Well, this is like the hardest of hardcover books. So he's got good taste there. He's got good taste in literature. He's a kingly robe. He's a bigger guy. He actually needs that girl. what is it? Is it a girdle? Is it a corset? It's like it's like an early corset. It's like just having like a, I mean, it's really just a belt, but he's got this good sash. He's got this thing. I like his colors. The blue and gold is nice. Running theme. I tend to like blue and gold. But he looks cool, and he's got this big manly beard, and he has this nice gold head bracelet. So I like that a lot. He has a nice gold headband. So I really like his design as well. I don't think if I take the background into account, I think I'd have to put him at least on par with Alexander. So I'm actually going to put him in A tier as well. And I think I'm actually going to put him right above Alexander because his background is just so much better. He's got better taste than Alexander. Next up, my man, Askia of Songhai. I love playing as this guy because you just kill shit everywhere. You just kill shit and raid shit. You take cities. This guy looks like an absolute barbarian. He's got his sword out, and it's like he's not even like intimidating you with the sword. He's not intimidating you. He just has it out because he just finished burning down the city behind him. I mean, this guy's a fucking warmonger. He's insane. He has this really cool robe. I really like the detail that they put into this robe. He's got a scarf to protect himself from the smoke that's caused by him burning everything. He's skeptical of you. He's apprehensive. He's not even trying to intimidate you. He's just apprehensive of you because everything around him is a threat. And he needs absolute control. He's got a head covering, which isn't as bad because the beard kind of makes up for any personality that could be gained from his hair. I think he has a good beard, actually. It's like it's kind of out, it sticks out. It's pretty cool. He has like an age-worn veneer on his face. This man has seen some shit. I mean, this man has done some shit, obviously. And again, the sword is cool. The city is cool. I like this guy a lot as well. I have to put him in. I mean, honestly, the Burning City is cool enough. I'm actually going to put him in S tier. Songhai in S tier. Next is Augustus Caesar from Rome. He's kind of boring, isn't he? He's relaxed. I mean, again, he's another skeptical ruler. His haircut is so stupid. Like, what? For a wave check on this guy. This is just, I guess, his regular throne room. Even then, I mean, the throne's not that good, I mean, these are like his parents right here. He just rests on his parents, I guess. He's got some nice, not too brightly burning torches here. There's not too much to go off of. Here. He's just like a guy sitting on the throne. His hair's dumb. Wearing a t-shirt. He's a little like Trajan from Civ 6, where he just looks kind of dumb. But at least he has a better background than Trajan. This is one of like the simpler, courts that we've been in. At the same, I mean, I like the sash, but it's so simplistic too. Like, there's really not a lot going on with this guy. I mean, for the Roman emperor, we build these, we tend to hype up Roman emperors and shit. They're supposed to be, I missed Attila the Hun. I'll get to him in a second. But there's not a lot going on with him. I put him below a model Monsieur. Now let's go back real quick. Wait, where is he? Where's Attila the Hun? Did I accidentally close out of Attila's thing? Oh crap, well now I gotta go put Attila the Hun back in. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna get him. Don't worry, guys. This is Attila the Hun. He's got a cool court. Definitely a better court than I knew I closed out of one tab here. I have like 50 tabs open. He's got a bunch of swords. He's got a bunch of treasure. This guy's a fucking thief. This guy's like a bandit leader, man. I mean, he looks like it too. He's got like the fur. He literally looks like a more decked out Skyrim bandit, which is kind of cool. He's got a good warrior beard. He looks mad at you. He's like, you come into my throne room. You talk to me. I have no idea what a Hunnic accent would sound like, but he's got a cool hat. It's spiky. He's got this gong behind him, which is cool. Like, it's kind of cool. Like, you're kind of stepping into your own little world in this claustrophobic space, but it's like decked out with all this treasure and gold and stuff. It's like he's proud of all the stuff he's taken. He's got, instead of like regular heads, he's got like lions here, which makes him look more fierce. I I like the colors that he's rocking, the red and gold, the blue. I mean, he's like furry. He's not a furry, but he's furry. He has fur on him, some leather stuff. It's not the coolest armor, but it's colorful. It works. I like it. And then he has, he's pretty stern. So yeah, I think the background really does him a lot of favors here. It just really helps to it just really helps to promote the image that he takes the shit that he wants. Look at all the swords he's just got lying around in that pot. He just takes his pick and kills you with any of them. So I'm gonna put Attila in. I think I have to put Attila. I think I have to put him right below Alexander in A tier. Next, let's go one more over to Otto von Bismarck. Now we see Otto von Bismarck as likely, I mean this is like I guess his office or his war room. There's really not a lot going on. It looks like he's pretty minimalist when it comes to furniture. He's just got a regular uniform. His mustache makes him look like Wilford Brimley. He's got some big thick eyebrows. He's really just like a regular old general guy. He's got the Iron Cross there, I guess, which is a nice allusion to real history where he had that, which makes perfect sense. His code is pretty simple. I mean, compared to some of the armor and stuff we've seen, it's a pretty boring design. The most I can say is these shoulder pads aren't bad, I guess. He looks like Otto von Bismarck. Like, that's really all I can say about him. I have to dump him in D tier. Sorry, guys. He's just very boring. Alright, next, I guess, is Boudica. Boudica looks pretty sick. So we have her outside the walls of her, village. Not really much of an empire, I guess, the Celts. More of like a village. There's a cart of spears with her. I guess she's going hunting later. I like the tattoos. I think the tattoos look cool. And I like the gear. I kind of like, we don't really get too much like blue and green design, so this is pretty cool. It goes with her red hair, so that's nice. We get the more natural like barbarian look. I mean, compared to something like Ambiorix of the Gauls, I mean Boudica looks way cooler. She looks way more fierce, way more cunning. I like her design. It's not like the most intricate design. It's not the most appealing design I could see, but at the same time, I think it works for her. I think it does a really good job promoting the image of like the warrior queen, I guess. So that's pretty cool. I like this a lot. I would put her in B tier. I think like high B tier though. So like I know that she's like all of B tier right now since we don't have anyone in here, but I like it. It's cool. B tier. Definitely better than the people in C. Next up, we have Casimir. Casimir is outside the walls of his castle, and you can see real quick. You can see like the Polish kingdom insignia. I guess I really like this. I really like this bird thing. I like all the birds. I think I mentioned that before. This guy is like one of the first people, or first person in Civ 5 to really look like a king. He's got this sick robe on. I love this robe. I love the red and gold. The crown is legit. The beard is legit. He looks like Rasputin with that thing. He's very stern. Almost a little too stern. But the robe itself is cool. I like this cloak. This cloak reminds me of like one of my old bathrobes. And I remember I would like lounge around in my bathrobe and feel like I was a wizard. And I feel like if I was wearing Casimir's outfit, I could kind of get the same thing. He also has a pretty good scepter. It's not, again, it's not as good as the Civ 6, laser spears. But this is pretty cool. This commands some respect. So I like him a lot. I would put him in. I really like his design. But at the same time, when I compare it to like a lot of the guys in like A and S, I don't think it's quite as good. So I'm actually going to put him in B tier. It's a good image, but it's not like the coolest one I could see. Alright, so let's go to, next is Catherine. The first thing we see about Catherine is look at these tits. These are massive. Is that, I swear to God, there's even like a little bit of nipple right here. That's crazy. Honestly, these are like too big. She looks weird like this. I think it's just the I think it's just her like outfit, like her corset probably under here pushing it up. But it is weird. At the same time, I really do like the dress. I think the dress is really cool. It's got these like little poofy things right here, which I like. I kind of like the poofy stuff in the dress, or like in outfits in general. I like the sash. I like this white, like the white and blue thing presents this like kind of heavenly feel, and I think the rest of this background goes with that. The hair is cool. You can't see too much of the crown, but I like the crown. It's a legit crown. These walls are really ornate, and I really respect them. And I like how there's light shining in here. The dress is pretty big. I feel like Catherine would actually be a pretty thick girl, if not for this corset making it looks like the dress makes her look like she has this really big hourglass figure, but I think it's definitely misleading. But at the same time, it's like not really something we can tell anyway, and it's a cool dress. I like the designs here. It's simple, but it's a little bit simple like in the patterns here, but it is really elegant. And I like the frills in the arms too. I think that's pretty sick. So I think this works really, really well for Catherine. She definitely tries to make herself look like oh, and you know what? I just realized this is like a cloak. So I like the cloak here too. I like the cloak behind here. I think this does give her a good image of like a gentle but powerful ruler. Well, perhaps gentle, like gentle until you piss her off, and then you don't want to. She's gentle until you piss her off, and then you fear her. You live in terror because she can strike at any time. You just know whatever she throws at you is going to be huge. So I'm actually going to put Catherine in S tier. And I don't know, do I want to put her above Askia? I don't think I want to put her quite above Askia. Because Askia, you already know he's literally burning down cities. So that's terrifying. Darius is next. He comes to you, I think this is like outside his palace wall. He has some kings. He doesn't really... His face is kind of boring. And his beard is a little weird to me. He looks bored here. He also has these oxen. Wait, are these the same as for Ashurbanipal? Dude, it's almost the same. All right, we have to dock some points for copying his predecessor. His robe is okay, but then if you look, he has like these twig legs. Like he has these twig legs under him. He doesn't look that, like, the crown is okay. The crown is okay, but he just doesn't look that powerful. He's supposed to have this really powerful army, but it really doesn't look like that at all. He looks like a priest or something. He looks like a priest. Like, it's an okay robe, I guess. Like the main yellow. It's like he's wearing a carpet or something like that. I don't really like this that much. I would have to put Darius kind of low. And honestly, this cultural stuff behind him doesn't do much for me either. I'd have to put Darius, I think, in C tier. I'll probably put him right below Augustus Caesar. Next is Dido of Carthage. First of all, I'm going to put this out there. I think Dido in this game is way hotter than Dido in Civ 6. That's whatever. That really doesn't... I mean, that doesn't have too much bearing on the ranking, I guess. But, I mean, for some reason they made Dido white in this game, which I don't know what she looked like, maybe. But I like the dress. I actually do like... I don't usually like the head coverings that much. But in this case, I like the... In this case, I actually do like the shawl over her head. I think it has a cool design. And it goes well with the dress. The dress is really cool. This almost... Okay, the way they've knotted this... I know this is nothing special as a knot or anything, but it kind of looks like a flower, and I like that. It also goes with the flowers on her dress. She has a shark tooth necklace, which I don't know is the best design choice. I don't know if it fits with the rest of her. And then she has these like drapes or something over her arms, which I think is a cool design too. And of course behind her, you have this beautiful nightscape facing the sea, and you get this like tree here with just beautiful flowers in bloom. So you know she's definitely a pretty aesthetically pleasing person, both in her like personal attire, but also in her taste. It looks like she's got a lot of good architecture going for her here. So I like the way she's chosen to present herself in this guy. I like the way the devs chose to present her in this. I like how I give her like sentience within the game. I like the way the devs chose to present her in this game. So I think it's pretty cool. I'm gonna put her in high B tier. I would actually put her probably right above Boudica. Next, we have Elizabeth. I think Elizabeth. There's a little bit to talk about. So first of all, she has a really good like regal image here. There are these huge curtains behind her, so it's like you come into her court. And all of this, it's like going into Anor Londo. It's like the people that rule this land are much bigger than you, and you can see that in the size of her dress too. It's like this dress is like massive. It's way more massive than Catherine's even. It's really cool. It's like everything in this place is meant for giants. So it really gives off the image of England as this crazy powerhouse, and I really like that. Her hair is big too. Her throne is big. It's really cool. This is like you're walking into the lair of an empress right here. I think that's cool. She is decked out in gems. I mean, you can see it in the rings, the necklaces. It's a bit ostentatious, but like it's understandable. And I really like the design on this dress too. The hair, it's like the hair is big and it helps with the image. At the same time, it does look dumb and I want to roast it. It looks like she's got like I think she's the only like beehive hair ruler in this game. Actually, that might not be true. There might actually be someone worse than her in that regard. Not worse, but like she doesn't completely fail at wearing it. And like when I see the rest of her outfit, there's not really another hairstyle I can think to give her. It's like a redhead Marge Simpson almost. But yeah, this is really cool, and I like the collar up. That just exudes confidence. So I really like this design, actually. When I was looking at it the first time, when I was like first pulling up the tabs yesterday, I was gonna kind of roast it, but really looking at it now, I actually think it's really good. So I'm actually gonna put her. I'm gonna put her in S. I'm gonna put her right above Catherine. Will anyone top Askia? I'm sure someone will. Next up is Enrico Dandolo. Well, I'll tell you who's not going to top Askia. This guy. He looks like old man. He has robe. He has some shark tooth shit right here on his robe, which is really weird. He looks like his outfit makes him look like a fucking Viking, but he's in Italy. Like he's gonna fucking fall in the river and drown wearing shit this heavy. Like don't you get hot? Don't you get hot in that in like Venice? I think Venice is hot. This is just Venice. I'm a little confused at the background here, because it looks like there's electricity behind him, when in fact there is not, unless they've just done a really good job like lighting the lanterns and making it look like there's electricity. It's a little weird. It seems a little anachronistic, so I'm a little confused on where it came from. It's a nice enough image in and of itself, I guess, but overall there's not really a lot to credit him for. So I have to put him. And like, of course, it's just like a regular brown outfit. It's like the belt is cool, and like I want to like the cloak, but there's just not a lot going on with him. It's just like he looks dull compared to a lot of the others. So I'm gonna put him in D tier again. I'm gonna put him above Otto von Bismarck because at least he looks a little more interesting than Otto. That is okay. Yeah, this is the next guy. I guess this is Gajah Mada. He's better than the other, oh wait, no, the other Indonesian lady was good in Civ 6. He kind of reminds me of Jaya Varman from the Khmer of Civ 6, except he's actually got a little more personality on his face, in contrast to many of the other Civ 5 leaders. So you get a better warrior image. He actually looks like a WWE fighter. Maybe he focuses more, he looks like a cross between a sumo wrestler and a WWE, like he literally has like the champ's belt from W. He has 2 champion belts from WWE. So I think that's pretty cool. Like, he could beat you in wrestling for sure. His hair's not bad. I don't know what these are. Oh, these are like top earrings. That's weird. It's weird, but I kind of respect it. They make him kind of look like he has like elf ears though. He's definitely got a bit of a gut. I'm a little surprised he can fight as well as he does with probably some high cholesterol going on there. But it's cool. He looks confident. He looks confident. He's a bigger guy. He's full of gold. Full of all this gold shit on him. It's pretty cool. I feel like in the modern age he would own a car dealership. So yeah, I gotta give him some respect there. It's pretty cool. I would give him B tier. There's not too much more specific I can point out. I think I'd actually put him probably right above Casimir. Next up we have Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi. He's see, this is the Gandhi that I remember. They made Gandhi really dark in Civ 6. Maybe that was more accurate. But this Gandhi looks pretty normal. You know, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, what if this Gandhi's just too white? I mean, it's Gandhi. He's a little bit taller. He kind of looks like my old professor. Not professor. He looks like my old teacher from like high school. Hope he's doing well. Nothing else to say about Gandhi. He's Gandhi. C tier. I'm actually gonna put him above all these other people. There's also not much to say about it. Actually, I'm gonna put him below Haroon. There's not much to say about his background either. But it's not a disappointing background like with Caesar. Next is Genghis Khan. Wow, did I actually get to the right tab on the first try? Genghis Khan. Now this guy actually looks scary. His horse has seen some shit. He's got, we have the Mongolian steppe. We have his horse village right here. I don't know why he has the only horse for like miles around, apparently, according to the Horizon. But he's got some cool armor here. He looks like he's decked out for battle. His face is actually a little scary. He looks a little malicious here. His armor's like, he doesn't look like a friendly guy. His beard is a little less exaggerated for like Disney character effect. So he's a little bit scarier here. He's got this gold insignia on his armor. Well, I like his armor enough in Civ 6, but he just looks so much more fierce here. He doesn't look as pudgy in this game, so he actually looks like a much tougher guy and a much more serious guy. He has this big spike on his head too, so he can just headbutt you and then stab you. It's pretty sick. So I really like him. I have to put him in high B. I'm actually going to put him right below Dido, because I think Dido, it looks a little bit cooler. Next up, did not get to Gustavus on the first try. This is Gustavus Adolphus of Sweden. He has some cool armor. It's really detailed. We have a lot of lines here. I really like these more intricate looking armor styles in general. He's got a really refined background on him. So he's got a lot of like cultural taste. He has some cool portraits in his palace. I don't know, does he have a picture of like Catherine the Great on his wall? He's got a big fireplace because it's cold in Sweden, so I like that attention to detail. He's got a big red beard, keeps him warm in the winter when he's outside. He's got a cool sash here as well. And he's got a cane and a sword. I don't know if he's that. I feel like he actually would be good at fencing, but he looks pretty confident. Like, look at that confident gleam in his eye. He's very proud of himself. He's a little too stiff. His legs are close together, which is kind of a beta pose. Like, he's not taking a wide stance, so I have to disrespect it a little. He almost looks a little bit silly, but at the same time, it's like, compared to the other Civ 5 leaders, this does have some good... And you know what I'll say? You know what I'll say about him? He does a pretty good job being a redhead. I kind of shat all over the redheads in Civ 6. But in Civ 5, this actually works because it like matches with his armor. So he almost looks a little bit silly, but he actually pulls it off well. Oh, and that's him. So I really like his design. I'm actually going to put him in A tier. I'm going to put him right above this guy, Attila. Next is Haile Selassie. I do not know how to pronounce his name. His face is kind of weird to me. He's kind of boring. Like, his face is kind of boring. Looks like a regular guy. He has almost the same beard as me. That's cool. He has almost the same nose as me. We both have big nose brothers. Let's go. His chair is his chairs are modern. This guy's a more modern leader. His I guess his court, so to speak, is kind of cool. It's a big empty. There's not even like a table near. Where does he do his work if his chair is right here in the middle of the room? That doesn't make any sense to me. But it's a cool. It looks like he's very refined. He's got a lot of decorative metals. He's got a cool green sash around him. He's got like a military jacket and some good decorations, some accolades. I mean, you can tell this guy's got a lot of achievements, and I think a lot of it was through strategizing. He looks like a thinker. He's kind of an intense guy. He looks like he's done a lot of things. He looks like he's done a lot of strategizing, and I like it. And it's gotten him where he is today. He really looks like he's achieved his dream, but at what cost? So I'm gonna stick him in B tier. I'm gonna stick him in B tier. I feel like he's not as grandiose as I'd like him to be, but it's that's who he is. Can't really fault him too much. I think I'm actually gonna put him below Boudica here, but it's still B tier, so we still like him. All right. Next, we have Harald Bluetooth of Denmark. He's a Viking. That's what he looks like. There's really nothing else here. I hear his civ actually sucks. I hear his civ sucks. I've never played as him. But he looks okay. I mean, he's on his Viking ship. That's his background. He's got a cool helmet here. I like his helmet a little better than Harald Hardrada's from Civ 6. He's got a cool beard. He's got like he's got the Viking braids. He's got the Viking prehistoric hair clips. He's got cool scale armor. He's got a big fox pelt. I mean, he's got a fox pelt, and you have the fucking face of the fox here on him. It's like he didn't even. It's like he's legit. It's kind of crazy, actually. He's just literally wearing a fox. It's kind of scary, actually. This guy's really hardcore. He's definitely decked out like a Viking, and I think he pulls it off well. So I'm gonna stick him also in. I'm actually gonna stick him in A tier. I'm gonna stick him right below Gustavus. Right there. Next, we have. Oh God, I never zoomed out of him. Next, we have Harun al-Rashid. He has a really, really beautiful place. He's got some books here. This guy's actually a really big thinker. He looks like he's in deep thought. He's an intellectual guy. His beard isn't too long, so he takes care of himself. Like, he takes meticulous care of himself. His robe is really clean. His bushes are well trimmed. His hedges are trimmed. His plants are placed in a good feng shui kind of outline. And he's got a nice pristine garden around him. I really like it. It looks like he's really into meditation. He's a very peaceful guy. He's a very peaceful guy. He knows what's important and what is mere materialism. So I really like this. He looks very pure. It's a really cool design. He's got books. He's an intellectual. He's calm and relaxed. He has a sword, but I think that's just because his cane was lying in the other room. The sword was closer. I don't know. It's kind of this guy does look really cool. I have to stick him in. I have to stick him in A tier for sure. I'm actually gonna put him right above Harald Bluetooth. Next is Hiawatha. He's in the forest. He looks like an Iroquois member. It almost kind of looks like he's not wearing pants. But I think he's wearing pants. Because these are pants. But are there pants here? This is a little bit weird. I don't know if I like that design choice. He's pretty jacked. He's been in the wilderness a lot. He looks like Maruna from Kubura with his red face paint. He has a mohawk, which I think complements the Mohawk Warrior unique unit. His sash is blurred out for some reason. It's almost like it's like a JoJo censorship thing on Crunchyroll or something. It's like blurred out. Like it's like maybe it was like covered in blood or something in the Japanese version. I don't know. He looks to me he looks kind of mediocre. I really don't. I know he's like not just like a regular guy like Otto von Bismarck or something, but to me there's really not too much special about him. I can't put him in D tier, I don't think, but I can put him in C. I'm actually gonna put him right above. I'm gonna put him right above Augustus Caesar. I'm gonna put him right below Gandhi. Next we have Isabella of Spain. She looks like your standard pious Spanish queen. She's got the cross. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like she's actually really hot. I just get the feeling that when she takes off her like head thing, she'd be really hot. She has a cool crown, I'll give her that. Her dress is again kind of blurry. There's not really a lot going on with it. The palace here, not too much going on either. Looks like it's made of rocks, like polished rocks. You know, they put care into designing the palace, but it's kind of boring for my tastes. And then there's some greenery around there, which I guess is cool. But yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about her. Like I like the red and gold color scheme. But she doesn't really do too much for me. You know, like she's supposed to be, I think, a little bit more simple and pious, but you know that doesn't really make for good aesthetic design in my opinion. So she goes into C tier, but the top of C tier. I'm gonna put her above Ahmad al-Mansur. Next up, we got Kamehameha. Now, first of all, I really like this sash. I think this is a really cool design. I think his hat is kind of cool. It's like having an axe on your head, except it's obviously not sharp. He's like readying his spear. Looks like he's gonna throw the spear at you. That's a little bit crazy. He's got a cool cape. He's a big man. He's ripped. He's ripped and he knows it. He's in a very alpha stance right now. So I like that. You know, he's definitely the hunter. He's got some huts. Doesn't look like he's really put a lot of thought into infrastructure of his civilization, which I'm a little disappointed in. But at the same time, you know, he's more of a sailor, an explorer type, a hunter type. You know, he's more outwardly focused. So I have to respect that about him. Ultimately, I think Kamehameha is going to go into B tier. I think I'm going to put him right above Haile Selassie. Right below Boudica. Next up, we got, now here's some beehive hair right here. Maria of Portugal. Really nothing going on here. She's in like a fort, but it's a really boring fort. Really not a lot out there besides the sea. It's like she like tried to copy Dido's taste, but it just didn't work. She also wants to be like more ostentatious. She has an okay dress. Her face is really boring. Not really a lot going on here. The cape is okay. It's not as cool as Catherine's cloak. It doesn't not work though. It's okay. Like the red and blue is not a bad color scheme. The scepter's a little short for my taste. It looks like she's gonna like give you a bonk on the head and tell you to go to horny jail. She looks a little petulant. And I don't know if I like her attitude, and I think her coverings is, how do you even get the cover? How much hair gel do you need to get the hair to be this solid to rest this on there so perfectly? I kind of respect it, but I also doesn't think it looks that good. Like I don't think it looks that good. Did I say I doesn't think earlier? That's dumb of me. She looks like the discount Elizabeth. I have to put her in D tier. Is it even D tier? Can I put her in E? She's worse than Otto for sure. I don't know if I can put her a whole tier. I'm gonna put her in E for now. Next we have Montezuma. Oh yeah, wait. I think Maria's next in the tier list. Yeah, I must have missed Maria on here. Okay, well now we have to pull Maria back up. I must have closed out of her by accident. Maria Theresa of Austria. First of all, what a nice, pleasantly plump old lady. Very much a regal presence. Honestly, almost a holy presence. I know I made fun of Isabella a little bit for this, but I think Maria actually pulls off this look much better as like a pious queen. But at the same time, she's not covered, so it's not like real piety. It's just more of it's more of a regality rather than any kind of piousness. But it definitely gives off this like untouchable vibe, like the white dress, kind of a white, like with mountains and stuff. It's like she rules like a heavenly realm almost. So I like that part. I like that vibe. Even though it's a more militaristic looking castle. Like you see the banners here, and then this like this tower in the back. But it's pretty cool. It's almost pristine. It's like it's antiquated, but it's still almost pristine. And I really like the design on the dress too. It's pretty cool. I am gonna put her, I think, in high B tier again. Definitely not above Dido. I think I'm gonna put her I'm gonna put her above Kamehameha, but below Boudica. Now here we go. Next up, let's see, above Hiawatha, Isabella, Montezuma. Apparently this is Montezuma the first and not Montezuma the second. That's what I hear. Apparently this was like the good Montezuma. I don't know if that's true or not, but this guy actually, okay, so I obviously Civ 6 shat all over this design, but Civ 5 I think actually does an incredible job portraying Montezuma. I mean, this guy actually like looks like he lives up to the hype of the Aztec legends of like fucking killing you and sacrificing everyone on the altar. His place is full of the skulls of his enemies, and he's got like evil tikis surrounding him. This is huge supervillain vibe. He's looking at you with pure malice and contempt. He's got this skull on his head. He has some the tattoos are decent, but it's really like the jade necklaces and like the necklaces and the arm guards and the feathers that really make it. He's got these like above like a pyre right here, so he's like he's looking like he's like divining whatever he's divining. He's looking in the flames to see what kind of method he wants to use to torture you or some shit. This guy actually looks really fierce. I think he's debatably my favorite design in this game. I love the aesthetic that he gives. He looks like an absolute warrior. He's well built, well defined. He's scary. Like, instead of looking like a fucking peacock like the Civ 6 version, I mean, he has a very clearly peacock head, but he's not like wearing fucking peacock feathers on his back. He's actually just got like the big headdress, and it makes him look like spikier, I think. And so I really like the colors he uses, and I really like the attitude he gives off, especially with the background. Montezuma is an S tier. He is the top. He is the top right now. Next, let's go ahead and check out our boy Napoleon. This is Napoleon. Little bit of a pudgy guy. He's got his little Napoleon hat. He's got a white horse. The horse has like a Bieber haircut. It's actually kind of cool to me how you can you can give horses like a hairstyle. That's just like a cool thing to me in real life. It gives them some nice individuality. He has a really boring background. It's just a field in France. He looks like Napoleon. He's better than you. You can see it in his eyes. And he's just wearing his regular outfit. I like this coat that he has here, though. I think the coat that he has here is really cool. So I'm gonna put him. It's not the best aesthetic taste, but like the design itself is okay. I'm gonna put him in C tier, and I think I'm actually gonna put him right above Isabella. He's top of C tier for me. Now we get Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar of, I think this is Babylon. This is kind of weird Because, like, I don't really know what this is supposed to be going for. Like, his mustache kind of makes him look silly. His helmet makes him look silly. His dress, his robe. His robe is a little bit simple for me. He's got, like, he's got, like, a pajama shirt, which is cool. The throne is really cool. I like the throne that he sits on, and it's almost like, he almost looks like, if someone more intimidating was in this throne, it would look like they were the Prince of Hell or something. But ultimately, it's this guy with his silly beard that's a little too big for him, and a mustache that's like you can twirl it, and a kind of a dumb beanie helmet. I mean, it's metal, but, you know, a beanie helmet. So there's not really a lot going on with him, and it's kind of a mismatch, I think, in the style. So I don't think it's that good. I think I'm actually going to put him, I think, in C tier. I'll probably put him right below Augustus, above Darius. Now, we have Oda Nobunaga. Why are his legs blending into the background? He looks like a ghost. This is like when you've defeated him and he's like fading away. I don't know. He's in the mountains of Japan, I guess, which is... This doesn't even... I can't really say what Japan does and doesn't look like, but it looks like he's in like the fucking Sound of Music hills. Like, he looks like he's like singing about the sound of music in this hill. I like his armor a lot. His actual design is really cool. He's a little fierce, you know, he's mad. He's got the good armor. There's a cool robe under his armor. He's got a good metal chest plate. He has 2 swords, which is badass. He's like Lloyd Irving from Tales of Symphonia. He's got some leather stuff here. I don't really know what you call this, but his leather, you know, leg guard is cool. And he's got some nice patterns going on. Here's this floral pattern under the guards, which I think that looks pleasing. He's got a nice red sash. I think the chest piece is what really makes it for me. So I like him a lot. Oh, and he's got a big sword on his back too. Yeah, I think he's really cool. Let's put him in high B. Let's actually put him right above Genghis Khan. Oh, next we're gonna have Pakal of the Mayans. And this guy really went for the peacock look, way harder than Montezuma. He's got a cool temple city. Now, I really like this because this is a cool callback to Sonic Adventure, where you see the temple in Sonic Adventure in the past village. So I'm glad the devs paid attention to that. I wonder if that's why it was like the Echidna tribe, because they look like spiky like the Mayans. His tattoos are fine. He's got a cool jade amulet right here. It's big and it looks like a face. I really like this design too, like covering... I mean, this is like a 2-scale diagram just covering his entire cock. Like, that's why they had to make it as long as it was, because his dick is massive. He's got these cool feathers all around him. He's got feathers here. It's purple. It's regal. This is a death spear. Well, it's more of a hammer, but like you could kill someone with this. He definitely bonks him. He definitely bonks you with this and sends you to a place worse than horny jail. His headdress is a little massive. It's almost nonsensical, but at the same time, I actually think it's cool. It's like carrying like a war banner. So I think this is actually cool, and I like how big the leaves are. They're multicolored. It's really cool. It looks cool to me. So I really like these guys. I'm gonna put him in A tier, but probably not too high in A tier. But I think I put him right above Alexander and below Ashurbanipal. Just because that headdress is a little too big, it does make him look a little silly to me. Next we have Pachacuti. The Inca might be my favorite Civ in Civ 5. They're super, super fun to play, especially if you get mountainous terrain. But ignoring all that, I think Pachacuti actually looks a little bit dumb here. He has this checkerboard dress, which is like weird. The sun looks bored. The sun doesn't look like it's happy to be there. His village isn't, like, his city isn't nearly as cool as what does he do if it rains? Do they just have guys like holding leaves over his head or something to keep him from getting wet. Like, there's no ceiling here. What if it rains, Pachacooty? His sun amulet is cool. His sandals are okay. I like this enough. His spear is probably the most imposing spear in the game, just because it's literally a pole arm. It's a poleaxe. The sun itself is not too bad, even though I made fun of it for looking bored. The throne is okay. It looks kind of like a puzzle box. It's decent. It's not the best throne I've ever seen, but it's not too bad. Overall, and like the city, I wish there was a little more going on with the background, especially with how like good his empire is at making food. You'd think it'd be a little more bustling of a city, but he's okay. His Civ 6 counterpart definitely looks a little cooler, and his crown is really nothing to laugh. His crown is nothing to write home about, especially with like the Mayans and the Aztecs really fucking him up in that department. I would have to put him in D tier. He is probably top of D tier. He's better than Enrico Dandolo. I don't even know if we're gonna get like E and F. Honestly, nobody looks that bad in this game. Actually, there's one person. We'll get to him. Next up, we have Pedro II. He's in his study. He looks mad at you. He's in the middle of something very important, and he didn't have time to be put into this tier list. He has his quill and ink. He has a very formal suit. I actually really do like his hair and beard. They're very neat to me. I like how he's groomed himself here. He's covered in books. He's a very well-read, cultural guy. He might even be a little soft-spoken. He looks like a bit of an introvert. He's got his blinds. He's got his blinds down, blinds up, windows open. You get a good view of the Brazilian nightscape outside. Not that we can see any of it. So it's kind of cool. He's kind of cool. He's kind of shut off, and I like this secluded vibe. Like I like the aesthetic he's got set up in his study. He definitely seems like a cool, cultured leader. So I'm gonna give it, even if his suit doesn't have too much going on, but it still like works well. So I'm gonna put him in B tier. Not too high up though. I think I'm gonna put him right below Haile Selassie. Next, we have Pocatello of the Shoshone. I was watching a video recently of like all the... now this is a death spear if I've ever seen it. It's just a spear. It'll kill you. I was watching a video of the Shoshone, and this guy actually has the most badass voice. I can't really include that in the rankings. He doesn't really have a city to speak of. He's just on a rock. It's kind of cool that he's on a rock. He's a rugged adventurer, I guess. He's a leader, but he's more of an adventurer leader. That's why his scouts have the super ability. He's fine. He has cool pants. He has cool pants. His shirt is like his top layer is okay. He's got some fur here. There's not really much to talk about. It's like a regular fur coat kind of thing, like a fur coat aesthetic. I really don't have too much to say about him. I actually do think he looks kind of boring, but there's nothing bad about him, but there's nothing really good about him either. I can't really say much. I like his spear though. I'll put him in C tier. Probably right. I think he looks a little cooler than Hiawatha. Hiawatha's trying a little too hard. Below Gandhi. Next up, we have Ramses II. I think it's Ramses II. Now, this is like the quintessential like Egypt shit right here. So luckily, we know there's a covering here. So if it rains, he's not getting too wet. He has a cool robe. His scepter is a big candy cane. It's cute. It's delicious. His beard is a little weird to me. He looks a little too stern, but the actual outfit fucking rocks. I love this white, blue, and gold he's got going on. The cape works. He pulls off the cape. I like it. His, like, Sphinx, Phoenix things, like, he has, like, bird maiden. He has, like, harpies here, and I like those. Like, they're, like, we're presenting him. It looks like the Family Guy intro. His aesthetic sense is really superb, actually. I think his layer looks really cool. His throne is a little small. I'm a little surprised he's that humble of a guy, But otherwise, like the rest of him, you know, he looks like he's pretty well off. So I really like it. He's a little slim. That's the only thing. He could stand to eat a little more. But otherwise, I think it's a really cool place he's set up for himself. And I think he looks like a pretty powerful ruler. So I'm going to put him pretty high up. I'm actually going to put him in... I'm going to put him in A tier. And I'm going to put him in high A. I'm actually going to put him above... I'm going to put him at the top of A. Right above. And honestly, if it really comes down to it, I might have to move Catherine down. I actually might put him in S. I think he's actually better than Catherine. So Catherine's going to the top of A. Ramses is going in the bottom of S. Next, we have... Alright, we gotta look this guy's name up. This is Ram something. Ram Kamhang. I'm really sorry, I can't pronounce it. Ram Kamhang. He's... I don't... It's... This guy almost looks really cool. This guy almost looks really cool. He has a nice kind of zen-ish garden. I mean, obviously not a zen garden, but he has a nice garden around here. I like this thing. This adds a nice touch to his background. He's a peaceful guy, and yet this thing of his is a little too ostentatious. He's a very gentle face, and yet he has this ostentatious shoulder covering and sash. I love the robe on his bottom. He's a thin guy. He doesn't really look... He's kind of defined, but I think it's from malnourishment. And like all this stuff is like too... All this stuff is too gaudy for him, I think. His face is so... He is a baby face. He's a peaceful little baby face. And yet, like, it just doesn't really fit with the scene. But I love his pant robes. I love his robe pants. So I don't really know where to put... I think I'll have to put him in C tier, because it's such a mismatch. But it's not that bad. I'm going to put him right above Gandhi. Next up, we have Sejong of Korea. Now this looks like the throne room from Kingdom Hearts 2 and the Land of Dragons. So I love that reference as well. I'm really glad the Civ devs are Kingdom Hearts fans. I think his aesthetic actually looks really cool. His dress, I'm kidding, his robe is really cool. I love these designs here, and I love he's got the red and gold, gotta respect it. He has a book, which obviously he's going for the science victory. He has the silly hat, but you know, whatever. It's actually easy to ignore with like the stuff in the background. There's so much stuff to take your attention away from this hat. The beard is fine. The beard makes sense to me. The design here is really nice. His throne room is a really cool aesthetic. So I definitely want to put him up pretty high. He's going in A tier. And I think he's going pretty high. I'm actually going to put him... I'm going to put him at the top of A tier. I don't think he's quite good enough to be an S. Next, we have Shaka Zulu. Now, look at I mean, this guy, 100% more badass looking than the Civ 6 counterpart. He does not look like Don Cheadle anymore. He's got some cool cheetah skin. He's got some cool feather things here. He's got leopard things to hide the size of his massive cock. He's got a big shield when he gets erect and he really needs to hide the size of his massive cock. He's buff. He's got more leopard skin. He's got some cool feathers here. This is his village. They got, you know, he's in a wasteland, so you know he has to be fierce to fucking hunt the wildebeests and feed his village. He looks like he solos wildebeests. He looks like he solos multiple wildebeests whenever they stampede through. I mean, all these were hunted by him. It's very clear to me that that's the case. So he looks badass. There's not really too much special going on besides all the skulls in the background, but he definitely looks dangerous, and you can see that. You can see that in his eyes, his bloodshot eyes. This guy's gonna kill you. He's fucking waiting. He's waiting for you to slip up. The beard just makes him look even more dangerous. So this is pretty cool. He's really cool. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Despite all that praise, I'm gonna put him in B tier. And I think I'm actually going to put him at the top. I think I'm going to put him... I'm actually going to put him at the top of B tier. Next, we have Suleiman. Where is he? Suleiman. He looks a little bit pompous for me. His hat, I think in this one looks a bit silly. I don't even know if we can see all of it. He's got like a little feather coming out of it. His hat looks like a pillow. His beard is okay. He's a big guy. His robe is cool. And he's got a big book. His palace really doesn't have that much going on for me for it. You can't really see much of it. You just know it's a palace and it has some light coming into it. The robe is cool, but it actually kind of looks like it doesn't go with whatever's under it, like this blue-green thing. I don't know if I like the gold above it. Like, I'd kind of rather if he, like, either rolled up his sleeves or maybe, like, took part of it off or something. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like he might look better if he didn't have this cloak on. It's, like, a little too big for him. I do think he looks kind of silly. It's like not that bad, but he does look kind of silly, and nothing really speaks to me about this design. So I'm going to put him in C tier. He's going right below Hiawatha, I think, right above Augustus. Next is Theodora of Byzantium. Now, first of all, she's sexy. Straight up. She's got a really regal, like, outdoor lounge here. We got rose petals here. Bruh, she looks like she better fuck. She's got she knows what she wants. You can see it in her face. I can't tell if this is her hair or not, but I would not complain if it was, because I think that's good hair. She's got good highlights here. The eyeliner and stuff she uses is really good. She definitely knows how to apply makeup well. I like her lipstick. Like the cloth, like the fabric around her looks really good. She's got a good wrestling champion belt here. It's a really good design, and like the fabric is really intricate. The crown looks lovely. I mean, the bottom of it kind of looks like you're playing a game of Brick Breaker, but the rest of it, and it goes with the rest of it, and it's like decked out with gems. I really like her adornments. So she looks really good. I would actually put her very, very high up. I want to put her in S tier. Honestly, I do. I want to put her right above. What do I want to put her below Ramses? I want to put her above Ramses. And these two are really, really close. But I like her background actually a little bit more, and the attitude that she gives off, that knowing attitude. She's cunning. Next is George Washington. What can I say? It's George Washington. The book looks like it's a little too big for him, which is a little weird. He's in his office. I don't know why the curtain overflows onto the table. He's a little messier than I'd like him to be. But he's George Washington. That's it. Like, it's the Gandhi principle. He looks a little cooler than Gandhi, though. I'm actually going to put him right above Casimir. Also, as an American, I'm biased anyway towards America. So I'm actually going to put him above Gajah Mada. Next, we have William of Orange. I think it's because of these orange stockings. This guy is the first person that I can put in clown tier. What the fuck are these? He looks like a fucking circus member. He's got a yarmulke on and he's not even Jewish. He looks silly. What is this? What is this? The painting is the best thing about this whole thing. He looks absolutely stupid. Nobody in their right mind would ever want to wear this in court. His ministers must make fun of him all day. F tier. Wu Zetian, our last leader. She looks pretty cool. The background is a little bit simplistic. I would have expected a more ostentatious looking throne. I like the white makeup here on her face. I think it's a cool, interesting trait. She's got cool stuff in her hair. Like, you definitely sense she put a lot of thought into the way her hairstyle was supposed to look. I like the wind chime thing. I mean, they're not wind chimes, but I like the chime looking things here. The decorations hanging from the ceiling. She's got some cool spears lying in the back of the chamber. 2 gongs. As opposed to Attila's, I think it was Attila's 1 gong, so I have to respect that. And yeah, she the dress is good too. Again, we got the red and gold, and I like the aesthetic here. So I definitely like the way that she presents herself. She definitely presents herself as this regal, powerful empress. The only thing I really wish for here was that there was a throne. So she's definitely doing a good job here. I'm gonna put her in high B tier. B tier it is. I would put her right below Oda Nobunaga and above Genghis Khan. So here we go, guys. The Civ 5 leader tier list. So we have Montezuma in S. He looks pretty cool. And then we have Clown tier. Clown tier with William of Orange. This guy's a clown. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. And it's probably going to be the last Civ content I put on here for a really long time. There's really nothing else for me to do besides judge people's appearances with Civ. I'm not really that good at the game or anything. I don't really want to talk about it that much. I just wanted to rate some of these leaders' fashion sense. So thanks a lot again, guys. And thanks again to My Name Chef. And I'll see you whenever. Don't know what else I'm going to make, but yeah. Thanks for watching.